Cowboys site saying the Cowboys should be out of the NFC East. What are they scared of? Is it that the Philadelphia Eagles are getting ready to dominate for years to come? And it isn't often that I say I'm wrong, but I think I may be wrong about Crash Test COVID.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. No mas for the Dallas Cowboys. Why on earth would a Cowboys site want to take the Cowboys out of the NFC East other than they're scared of the Philadelphia Eagles and the dominance that we are about to have on this division for years to come? So they want out. And I got to tell you, Crash Test COVID, I may be wrong about him, and Bleeding Green Nation might just have convinced me. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, to the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. Now, you know, sometimes you just get shocked by certain things, and like, has it come to that point where Cowboys fans and sites are so scared of the Eagles and so desperate that they think it's time to move the Dallas Cowboys out of the NFC East? Look at this. Time to move the Cowboys out of the NFC East. Now this, I got, shout out to Joseph Vega. He sent me this, and in this article, and it comes from Inside the Store, which is a Dallas Cowboys site. They talk about getting the Cowboys out of the division. Out of the division. Why do people want to ruin football? I don't understand it, okay? You have years and years of these teams in divisions having rivalries, like natural rivalries, hating each other, and then you want to just get rid of all that and start it all over? I mean, listen, whether you feel that Washington should have changed their name or not, to me, it has definitely hurt the Cowboys-Washington rivalry. It used to be Cowboys versus the Redskins. It doesn't work the same when it's Cowboys versus the Commanders, okay? But now, they want to take it a step further. They want to take the Cowboys out of the NFC East. I could not be against this more clearly. Okay, I'm against taking the Eagles out of the NFC East, Washington out of the NFC East, the Giants out of the NFC East. Back in the day, I didn't even want them to take the Cardinals out of the NFC East. Okay? To me, it's absolutely ridiculous. And a little bit of what they said is the ultimate goal of the commissioner, Roger Goodell, is to add 4 European teams in the NFL. If that comes to fruition, the league would have 9 divisions for a total of 36 teams, which begs the question, which conference gets 4 European teams? Or would the NFL add 4 North American teams to balance it out? Where would those 4 teams come from? No matter the answer, it likely means another round of realignment, especially if it's only 4 European teams they added. And it goes on to say, why wait? Let's go out there and move the Dallas Cowboys, okay? And let me give you the reasoning for this. Come on. All right, let me give you the reasoning for this. So this is why they say the Cowboys should be out of the NFC East. For example, the Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, Seattle Seahawks travel the furthest for their 3 road games in the division. Dallas leads the pack, traveling a combined 7,694 miles round trip per season for just those 3 games. Miami and Seattle aren't far behind. And so basically, because of the distance that they have to travel to go to Philly, Washington, and New York, they think that they should take Dallas out of the NFC East. And by doing that, and let's say they put them into a division with Vegas, Arizona, Houston, it would cut their miles to about 4,294. I mean, what these people are talking about is they're talking about a complete realignment. Like I hate it. I hate what they're proposing here. To me, I'm sorry that Dallas has to travel to the East Coast, but you've established rivalries. You've established hatred. You can't manufacture. If you put the Eagles with other teams it just won't feel the same. I think you actually hurt the game. Let me show you some of the divisions that they're proposing here, right? So you would have a Great Lakes division. Chicago, Detroit, Packers, Minnesota. That's pretty much the way it is. Then you have the AFC East, Mid-Atlantic, Carolina, Cincinnati, Cleveland Browns, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, to me, I don't know why you would want to take Pittsburgh away from Cincinnati and Cleveland rivalry. You guys get on my nerves. That totally would suck. And then the Southeast, they would have the Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay? Oh my God, that's horrible. The Atlantic Division sounds like hockey. Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Washington Commanders. So you mean to tell me that you're going to take the New York Giants out of the division of the Eagles and Dallas? I mean, dude, I'm sorry. I don't hate the Baltimore Ravens as much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I don't hate and feel the same way about the Pittsburgh Steelers as I do about the Giants and the Cowboys. It would take me 20, 30 years to get to that point. This is horrible. Northeast, they would have the Bills, the Patriots, the Giants, and the Jets. Oh, my God. I don't understand how you can have a division in which a Philly team and a New York team was separated by what 90-something miles? I don't understand how you can't have those in the same division. It's to me absolutely crazy, right? You know, I absolutely hate this idea, and the only thing I can think of is they're absolutely scared. They're absolutely scared of the Eagles and the future, and they know that Dallas can't keep up with them in the division. You want to make this about miles? Are we now worried about miles and traveling? These guys travel all the time. Why would you do that? You would hurt the game. Look, I already think they've watered down the product with games on Thursday, with games now we're going to have on Friday. I think it's too many games already. Now you're talking about taking natural divisions and rivalries away and starting over. No, do not do that. This article pisses me off. It literally gets me triggered because I would not want to take my most hated teams and take them out of my division where I may not even see them every year, let alone twice. It just would suck. This is a bad idea. You want to add 4 European teams, then do it. Create a European division for all I care. But do not ever mess with the greatest division in football. I'm just saying. I had to do a video on this because it was just bothering me. Okay? And I think Cowboy fans and Eagle fans can agree, and Giant fans could probably all agree with it. I mean, look how much Washington has hurt their product by just changing their name to a Canadian Football League sounding name. Okay? It just doesn't work. Why would you take these guys out of the division? That's absolutely insane. Unless they're scared. So I had to get my 2 cents in about that because it was bothering me. Now, I got to say, one of my biggest fears for the Eagles, one of my biggest weaknesses is their punt return game. I don't think the Eagles have had a really good return game. But I got to say, after reading Bleeding Green Nation, they had a little article about Crash Test Covey, Britton Covey, and that maybe he's a little underrated and going under the radar, and maybe we need to give him a chance. They actually convinced me. I actually changed my opinion, and this doesn't happen much. Let me tell you, as my wife, I don't change my opinion. When I have an opinion, I'm pretty grounded in it. I will listen to arguments and be open-minded, but this really convinced me because I was thinking about Covey, and he did get better at the end of the year. But this is what they said. Get this, right? Eagles player review, wide receiver punt return, Britton Covey edition. To put Covey's 13.3 yards per return over the last 10 games in context, the NFL's leading punt returner, minimum of 20 punt returns, was New England's Marcus Jones, who averaged 12.5 yards per return. Covey was quietly effective and probably doesn't get the proper recognition for his 2022 season because it started so poorly. if he can keep up the level of play that he showed during the back end of the 2022 season, Covey could be one of the top punt returners in the NFL in 2023, at least in terms of average yards per return, though he never really came all that close to taking one to the house as a rookie. So, to me, it'd be great to have a guy that could get punt returns for touchdowns. It's great. But really, what I need at minimum is a guy that can change the field position. That's what you want. You want a guy that can change the field position. Covey had 13.3 yards per return over the last 10 games. That is pretty good. Okay? It was better than Marcus Jones, who averaged 12.5 yards per return all year. So Covey did come around. And maybe, just maybe, we need to think about this a little differently. Maybe we need to give him a chance. There's something to be said about being patient with somebody, letting them develop. I do this all the time. I am not perfect. I get frustrated. I get impatient, and I don't let a guy just develop. Let a guy just develop. And to hear it put in that context that Covey played that well in his last 10 games. I think it's a huge thing because he was bad at the beginning of the year. You remember, he'd catch the ball, he'd start running, let's say to his right. The line of defenders would be coming, and also he was like a magnet right into the wall. That's why I call him Crash Test Covey. But he got better at the end of the year. So I have to fully say this. I believe I was wrong about Crash Test Covey. I'm going to keep calling him that because it's a great name. But I can understand where the Eagles are coming from not to upgrade the punt return and thinking they might have something in him. And let's at least see how it pans out early in the year. Let's at least see how it pans out in preseason. I think Britton Covey, I think he's earned enough to earn the right to at least, hold that position going into training camp and preseason. But I think they're right. I think Covey could be going under the radar. I think we all could be overlooking him. And maybe, just maybe, he is going to be one of the better punt returners, and this year will show it. So I am going to step back from pushing a new returner for a while. I am going to give this kid a chance because I think they convinced me. I guess it was the Philly Voice that did the article. Bleeding Green picked it up. But I think they're right. I think we've got something there, and I think I got to be a little more patient. So, Britton Covey, you're on the clock. Let's see what you could do this preseason. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat, and remember, it is Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Man, I feel so much better getting that off my chest. That whole thing with take them out of the NFC. Like, why do you want to ruin rivalries? Do not ever ruin natural rivalries, and do not ever throw to the wind history and all that went through to build rivalries and the hatred the way it is. The hatred is good in football. Hatred is good to hate the other team. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's probably one of the few places that hatred actually works. It works for football. I hate Dallas. They hate us. I can respect that. Denzel Washington out.
Guys like Russell Maryland and Leon Lett. Okay. This is the Eagles.
Kelly Porter.
Eagles.
There it is. Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.